Hey everyone, this is Brett Trembly, founder of the Trembly Law Firm, and today I am with Christian Rodriguez, the managing partner of the Trembly Law Firm. And what we're going to ask Christian about today is our transition into working remotely with a team of 23 people. We made the decision last Friday, and by Tuesday morning we were 100% remote. And over this week we've already learned a bunch of tips. So Christian, tell us, let's give some people help and what they can do to make a seamless transition and some of the tips or hacks that we've learned on how to keep people running smoothly.
Sure. What I did is I came up with 5 tips that I've compiled since we started working remotely that we have been implementing and have developed through trial and error about how to be the most productive when you're working from home. And if you haven't done it before, it can be a time suck. You can potentially lose track of time. You can lose track of your focus, right? And so it's important to be very disciplined when you're working from home. So without further ado, I'm going to give you my 5 tips for being productive when you work from home. The very first one is maintain as much normalcy as possible. This has both psychological reasons behind it and practical reasons also. If you act normal and you engage in as many normal things as you normally do, it helps a long way in making you feel normal. So wake up at the same time you normally do, get dressed like you were going to work, maintain your certain work hours, treat your team members the same way you normally would. Do everything as normal as you can. Tip number 2, always be ready for impromptu phone calls. So remember I mentioned there were practical reasons for trying to be as normal as possible. If you dress the way you normally dress at work, right? Like for example, Brett and I are both wearing a jacket and button-down shirt. You're never going to be caught off guard if a client calls without notice for an emergency video conference. For that reason, you also want to make sure that your workspace is kept clean, that your background is as clean and presentable as possible. If you have a wall that you can be against, perfect. If you can't, and like myself, you have a closet behind you, close the closet and make sure there's no clutter. Try to be as presentable as possible. And another tip is related to this is put your phone on silent, right? Or if you're working from your laptop and you have a MacBook, like happened to me earlier, sometimes you'll forget to turn off your notifications because when you're logged in through your Apple ID, if you get a call on your phone, even if your phone is on silent, it will ring while you're on the computer. So make sure to turn off, put your notifications on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, I was going to mention real quick, Christian, in terms of the background, a lot of our team members, just like we used to live in an apartment or a condo, it's harder to keep those spaces clean. So if you can turn your desk so that the wall's right behind you, it's a lot easier than having a whole room to keep clean where you may have, animals running around or closets behind you with you can't close the door or things on the floor, etc. So just kind of, we've had some of our people turn their table and sit up against the wall.
That's a great point, Brett. Remember, try to adapt your surroundings as much as you can. Tip number 3, as much as possible, try to minimize your interruptions, right? So you're gonna have to have conversations with your family members. Obviously, this is easier said than done, especially if you have a spouse or a partner working from home or at the same time, or if you have kids. If you have kids that are not school age and you either don't have or can't afford a babysitter during this time, be patient with yourself and try to schedule your phone calls and your video calls while they're taking naps or while they're doing something that's entertaining them. If they are school age, try to coordinate those events while they are doing some sort of remote learning or otherwise entertained. And if you don't have anyone to take care of them and you find them running in during a phone call, be patient with yourself. Always be over communicative with the people on the other side of the call and let them know, hey, I'm working from home remotely because of the coronavirus. I have my kids with me, so if you hear background noise or anything, I apologize. Most people will be understanding of that. Tip number 4, check in with your team members throughout the day. We do daily huddles. We've been doing them from before, but now we're continuing them from Zoom. We're constantly calling team members throughout the day. We have our VoIP phones set up. If you can do that, that's usually the best option. But if not, be calling your team regularly and have them send time logs and productivity reports daily to their supervisors, just to maintain as much normalcy as possible and make sure that everyone understands the expectations. And
tip number 5.
Final tip, be the example, right? What that means is we have to be the example to our team members. Even if you're not a supervisor, you have to be an example to the other people in your team, right? You don't have to have a title to be a leader, right? And your team is looking to you, your clients are looking to you, and prospective clients are looking to you. You have to be a source of calm for everyone and keep reiterating to each other that by working together, you will get through this, okay? Because this will pass, and we have to continue our mission to protect the economy one business at a time, regardless of from where we're doing it. And
Yeah.
we've been doing it very seamlessly from our homes. So,
yeah, Christian, thank you so much for those tips. I was going to add, you, me, and some of the other partners at our firm have been working remotely, at least one day a week for some time now. And what I've learned is if you don't get up and attack your day because you work from home, your day will get away from you. So it goes back to the normalcy, starting on time and making sure that you don't allow a more relaxed environment to interfere with your productivity. So there you have it. Christian Rodriguez, thank you so much for your efficiency and productivity tips for us. And let's keep it up, man.
All right. And if anyone ever needs to reach out to us to talk further about this, we're here. We're trying to help everyone through this. So thanks again for giving us this platform.